Hello everybody! I know I'm shocking you, I'm almost on time today. So welcome to the Bead Stash Challenge. It's week 18 and we are going to make a barefoot sandal today. That's always exciting and it makes me look forward to a beachy vacation. I don't really have one planned this year yet, but you never know. I'm Paula Montgomery from Desert Cat Creations, and today we are going to make our barefoot sandal. Every Sunday we draw for our project, and on Thursdays we make our project live for you, so that's what we're going to do. I may only make one sandal live and make the other one later, but we'll see how the timing goes, okay? Because sometimes, you know, you don't exactly know how long it's going to take to put things together. So announcements, which I'll make again at the end. So we're live today. This weekend, for the next 2 weeks, we won't be live, okay? I am going to post my cards, and I'm going to post what I make. But I'm not going to do videos because I'm going to be out of town, and my internet's going to be intermittent and all that stuff. And this way, I don't have to worry about what time of day I'm posting or any of that stuff. So, but we will be back live on, here's my calendar, the 24th, I think, whatever that weekend date is around there, whatever that Sunday is, okay? So, hopefully you guys can all have fun, still be creative. I still want to see what you're posting. I will have internet access, so it'll just be not great for videos, but but it'll be fine for seeing what you guys are all posting and making. So please do that. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. I gotta get off I have a hard deadline of getting off of here on time today to go get my hair done for my vacation. Okay, so you know. Priorities, right? All right, so again, we're gonna make a barefoot sandal. So if you don't know what that is, I have two examples that we've made in the past here. So this one, I think was like the first design we made, and it's stretchy. So you put this part around your your second toe, the one next to your big toe, right? And then this goes around your ankle, and then you can wear that as you're walking in the sand on the beach, right? All right, and this other design we made, which was a lot of fun too. This one, so again, goes around your toe, and I guess actually you can put it around whatever toe you want, right? I do the second toe. But this one I used buttons, and we used soft flex and a clasp so that it's not stretchy. So you do have to fit this one to your foot, but there you go. Those are ones we've made in the past. All right. So, like I said, today we're gonna make that sandal. We have to use pastel colors. So I've got a couple things here in my bead selection. I have some pink with some green mermaid beads, which we're also using. These are also called aurora beads, but often referred to as mermaid beads, right? I've also got some seed beads. These are size 6, and it says they're pastel. They're a little bright, I think, but I think they'll go all right with the those mermaid beads. If they don't, I have some other pink beads here. All right. I also, and I might add them. Have some mermaid tail charms, so we'll see if we want to do that. Okay. We have to use red in our design. I have hearing jets pass overhead. We are near an Air Force base here, so it does happen. Anyways, red. So I've got a couple little red coral beads. Also, I had some red glass rounds. So we'll see what I decide to use. All right. And then our design had to be inspired by a mermaid. Well, you know, the good thing is we're using mermaid beads already, right? But, you know, I might throw in a couple other things. I had some glass shell beads that we might use. I also thought, so like I showed you the one with the button. So I was thinking I would make this sand dollar the centerpiece on my sandal. And I also, so therefore we're going to use soft flex rather than stretchy, because I don't trust the stretchy not to break if I put it through that. Okay, so I've got some lobster clasps here, so since I have enough out for two, I'm just going to put some of that away. Okay, so that's the beads we're going to use today. And I have some white beads in here just because I thought they would break things up a little bit, but we'll see what we'll see. So what we end up doing here. Because you know what? We're putting this together on the fly. So let me dump some of these out. And like I said, these are technically pastel, but I think they're a little bit neon, so I have used them. I used them on this bracelet in the past. But let's see what they look like with. See, I think they'll be just perfect with these pink mermaid beads. And maybe I don't need white after all. I was thinking I might have to do the white just to break things up a little bit, but. And I'm not sure I want to. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can use these around here. Now, so on the sand dollar, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 holes. So I thought I would use 3 of them, right? So 1 going towards the toe, and then 2 to go up and around the. Up and around the ankle, right? So if anybody's out there, make sure you say hello. Why is my... All right. I can't tell if my phone is acting up or not. So anyways, all right, let's open these up. My cutters. Papers flying around in my background here. Okay. So I don't know what you guys think about these Aurora beads, or like I said, they're also called mermaid beads by a lot of people. I kind of think they're on their way out. It appears that aren't necessarily buying them, although they're still super fun for you know, for beach designs. Just adds a little fun flavor and sparkle. All right, I'm using my Econo Soft Flex. It's something that's going to go to the beach, so you know, you never know. So you know, we need the part that goes around our toe. So I'm going to use this one here to sort of measure off of. So although I may end up moving this Well, no, that's okay. We'll put this down kind of where the other one is, and hopefully these beads. Oh, hey Lorraine, we're I know I surprised everybody. I got on like close to on time today, so we're just starting out on making our sandal. So I'm putting enough beads on to make the link. And it's okay if you get too many, because if it's a little bigger, we can always adjust on the other part of our sandal, okay? So again, we're trying to get something about that size. So, almost dumped my beads right back off. Let's put a few more on there. Like I said, I'd rather have it a little bigger than, I think these are bigger beads too that I'm using. All right. Let's put I'm gonna put 2 more on there, and then what I'm thinking is that I want to I am going to hook this to the one end here, right? So let's see, I don't need quite that much. I gotta figure out a place to put my red bead on. It's kind of not noticeable because it's kind of not the same, you know, same color as everything else, right? But if you ever look at like Native American made jewelry, a lot of it, especially if it involved beads, right? Or their carpets or baskets, they actually put sometimes they'll often put like a red thread or a red bead, something that's not the color scheme of what they're making, because in their view, only, you know, only God can make something that's perfect. So they add a flaw intentionally, which means it's not a flaw, right? All right, I put that bead on there just because I thought it would add, you know, help bring these wires together a little bit. All right, so I'm putting my crimp bead on there, and now, you know, I want to carefully look at where the holes, so there's one, so I either have to use this one and these two, or this one and these two, right? So it really doesn't matter which one. So I'm going to pick one of the holes, and then I'm going to put the wires back through. I don't know if they'll, oh, they did fit through my bead as well, so. All right, let's see what we've got here. All right, where's, That's funny. It went up the other side. All right, so I've got these my two edges sticking out, so we're gonna push this back down, and then we're gonna tighten it. And one more shove so that I have a nice loop there, right? And then let's make sure, got this as tight as we want it. I want it to have a little bit of movement, right? So that should be good. All right, and now we're going to use our crimper. And remember, we center it, we make a ravioli, we turn it sideways, we squeeze again, and then we just continue turn and squeeze until we have a nice bead there, right? All right, so let me trim these so they're not in my way. Now, I'm sure I could have figured out how to do this without, you know, using one continuous wire, but I don't know. I just thought it would be easier. All right, so now we need the part that goes around our foot. So we're going to have 2 strands coming up. So at some point, we are going to have to add our clasp. And I will say, when I was trying on this one the other day, having the clasp back here, which I kind of did that so it ended up at the ankle, and you can put it on the back side of your foot and you wouldn't notice it, but it can make it a little trickier to attach it. So, but I am going to have to attach whatever this is to one side here. So let's go ahead and you know, we could end up doing something similar. But let's just go ahead and let's just put some beads on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put my red bead on there with the idea that this is going to be somewhere in the back. Okay. And then I think I am going to periodically add a one of our mermaid beads. Okay. So I am actually doing a pattern here. I'm doing like 5 beads and then a mermaid bead, 5 seed beads. Yeah, just we'll look at it in a second, but I'm pretty sure our colors are good. We've kind of committed ourselves at this point, right? These beads are like half beads, I think. All right, let's look at it. I would say those blend pretty well, huh? All right. So I think I'm just gonna use my wire instead of, I don't know why I was picking up the beads, it's a little easier to just use the beading wire to pick these guys up. And I am not worried about what colors I put on here. It is whatever color happens to be in front of me, so sometimes it's going to be the same color next to each other. So do any of you have beach plans this summer? A lot of people do beaches all the time, but or every year. I grew up in Colorado, so we did not, my parents were not beach people. We vacationed, but we rarely went to the beach. I've become more of a beach person as an adult. So the question is, maybe I'll use this one for reference on how long I need to have this, right? Going to the lake in Vermont. Lakes count as beaches, even though some of them don't have much of a beachfront, right? All right, let's put one more set on here. Come on. It'll help if you fall right back off. All right. So I was thinking these shells could go like right next to here. I don't know if the shell adds to it or not. But what do you guys think? Should I keep the shell? What I'm gonna do next is I'm going to connect this to our metal piece here. So we'll put that on there and through the hole. Then we can take a look at what I got here. So didn't want to go in there. All right. Okay. What do you think? I kind of like the shell. Just a little something. All right, so I am going to do my bead here, or my crimp. All right, quit turning on me. All right. So let's those beads down there. And then I think I'll add I'll put the clasp on here. And then we'll see how far it, might have to try it on my foot off camera here, so. Pull a crimp bead out here. And I'm going to put see, that might make, to see if I can get that through the coral bead. All right, we'll see if we can gently push that in, because I don't want to crush my wires, because if I flatten my wire, it won't fit through the hole, right? All right, I think we're not going to force it through there. Although it was almost through there. Oh well. All right, we're just not going to have a long tail on there. All right, so let's pull this tight. And let's do our crimp. All right. Sometimes it's a little hard to get that turned so you can make sure you get a nice bead on there. All right, it slid back a little. That's all right. Well, all right, so now we have our toe part, and then we have this part that's going to go up and around. Before I send beads flying. All right. So now we need a section that's about that long, right? So I am going to pull, I'm going to go ahead and pre-cut a piece. longer, a couple inches longer than we need, remember? So. And I'll need a crimp bead here. And I'm going to use this other hole so it kind of forms a triangle between where my 3 wires are attached. Okay. So, see, I have the triangle there. All right, let's go ahead and crimp this guy. So we do our ravioli and then our sideways. Sometimes it slips, you know, so you have to kind of force the bead into the right spot. You should be able to feel yourself crushing it those first couple times as you're forming the ball. All right. So now I'm going to put a shell on there too. And then one of our mermaid beads. All right. And now we can just continue to put our beads on here. Oh, thank you. I think I got those at like Michael's or one of the craft shops. They are not fancy that I got anywhere, so. But they make fun links. I figured a mermaid would definitely use sand dollars, right? And seashells in their sandals. Not that they wear sandals because they have tails, but sand dollars are magical. I remember, I did recall going to the beach with my grandparents. We used to find sand dollars occasionally down in Mexico. Let's see how we're doing lengthwise here. Oops. All right, that was not bright. At least I didn't spill too many. All right. Let's put a couple more beads on here, and then I need to check it by putting it on my foot, okay? Sorry, guys. Can't do this on the screen. Need a few more here. Try that one. Alright, and it's a bit long, so I'm going to take this off. Okay. So now I just need to make a loop for the clasps to attach to. Lots of crimping today. Alright, so I'm feeding this back through a little ways. And we're going to check it one more time before we crimp, because we can still add beads, right? At least now my beads won't fall off while I'm checking the length. All right, I think it's going to end up being a little loose on me, but maybe not. It'd come loose a little bit. So obviously you want to fit it to whoever is wearing it if you're not doing a stretchy one. So if you are making one of these for somebody and you don't really know what their foot size is, not that you can find measurements somewhere, I would make stretchy, but if you know what you want to do, you can use this beading wire, which will last longer, but you would probably have to make them in different lengths or figure out a way to add a some sort of a chain or something to extend it, which you could do that with this design. You could add an extension chain. All right. Let's move the old one out of the way. And ooh, we have our sandal, right? All right. So this part goes around our toe. This part will be on our foot. And then this goes up around the back of our foot. I think that's mermaidy. I could see a mermaid approving of that. What do you think? Just don't. All right, I'm gonna make the other one off camera because, like I said, I have a hard cut off today, so I will make it and post them later. But just a reminder. Okay, so we made sandal. We used red. We didn't use much red. We just used a red bead, but that's all you need, right? Mermaid beads. So we used these aurora beads, which, like I said, are commonly referred to as mermaid beads. And pastel colors. We used the pastel versions of those things. And it's inspired by mermaid. We added some other oceany stuff. I had thought about adding the charm, but I think that would just be, it would be a little much. Although you could add the charm like here or up here or really anywhere along there, but I'm not going to. I think I'm happy with the way it is. All right, so we hit all the boxes there. We flip the camera and say hello one more time. So as I said earlier, I will not be live the next 2 weeks. I am leaving Monday on vacation, so obviously I'm not, I could do Sunday, but it would be pointless because I've already done my drawing for the next 2 weeks. So I will post up my cards and I will post up my finished project. Not going to do video. The projects, though, I think there's things that we will do on some of our Sunday shows to show how to do them since we're not doing videos. But we can talk about that more on the Sunday. So I will be back live 2 weeks from this Sunday, assuming all goes well and I don't end up buying a villa in Tuscany, in which case maybe I'll be live from Tuscany at that point. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good time. And like I said, please still continue to post your projects, post your weekly projects. Show me what you're making. If you haven't already, please join our group. We have the Bead Stash Challengers group, which, you know, is where we share all of our designs. And like I said, feel free to ask questions. If you are using our website to order anything, nothing will be shipped until after the 24th or whatever that Sunday is. I should have looked at the calendar before I got on, but I didn't. Have a calendar handy? Oh, hey, I do have a calendar. Let's double check what the dates are. So if I look in the right month. All right, Monday. Oh, it is the 24th. Okay. So I was correct. Sunday the 24th. So week 21, we will be back live. All right. But like I said, I will post my week 19 and 20 projects and cards. And then we'll discuss any of the, you know, techniques and stuff that go into them. We'll make something on a live after that, after I get back. So, all right. So, and again, if you want to order anything, feel free to order, but nothing's going to ship until really the 25th, right? So, I hope all of you have a happy Mother's Day this weekend. It's another reason not to be on Sunday, because I want you all to be able to go enjoy your day. Hopefully, it'll be a beautiful day. You can get out and enjoy it. If you haven't already, please like and follow us. It's a free... Thanks, Lorraine. Yes, it is Kitty Mom Day. But free ways to help your small businesses that are online is to like and follow their pages, their videos, their... and I am on Facebook and Instagram, and all the videos are also saved over to YouTube. And you can find everything there after 30 days. So I will see you soon. Have a great couple weeks. Bye.